Second, the idea doesn't even make sense. What is a law of physics anyway? What does a law of physics look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like when you hold one in your hand? Obviously, these are all ridiculous questions. The laws of physics are not physical things. So what are they then? Laws of physics are patterns that we've observed about how the universe works. For example, if an object is held above the earth and then released, it will fall, and it will do that over and over again each time you repeat the experiment. Because it does this consistently, we can measure how it happens and then describe it mathematically, as Isaac Newton did when he first wrote down his formula for gravitation. But again, this formula is not a physical thing. It can't create anything because it's merely our description of how the universe works. It's merely our description of the universe's pattern of behavior. Now let's apply this to the Big Bang model. According to this model, before the Big Bang, the universe didn't exist. Well, if the universe didn't exist yet, then its patterns of behavior didn't exist yet either. So they couldn't have been involved in the universe's creation. And so, secular cosmologists are still left with no way for the universe to create itself from nothing. And so, to avoid this, many cosmologists are now redefining the meaning of the word nothing. Secular cosmologists will still insist that the universe was created from nothing by nobody. They even write books about it. But when you dig a little deeper, you discover that when they say nothing, they sometimes don't mean nothing. Some cosmologists claim that before the Big Bang, there was a quantum vacuum field that fluctuated, and it made a particle pop into existence, which then grew explosively and became our universe. But there's a problem here, which you might have noticed. If the Big Bang was a fluctuation in a quantum vacuum field in space, then the universe didn't really come from nothing. It came from a quantum vacuum field, and a quantum vacuum field is not nothing. Even many secular scientists have complained about this inconsistency. As one physicist has said, a more fundamental problem is that this scenario does not really explain the origin of the universe. The quantum fluctuation of the vacuum assumes that there was a vacuum of some pre-existing space, and we now know that vacuum is very different from nothing. Vacuum, or empty space, has energy and tension. It can bend and warp, so it is unquestionably something. And famed cosmologist Alan Guth wrote, "From the point of view of general relativity, empty space is unambiguously something. According to general relativity, space is not a passive background, but instead a flexible medium that can bend, twist, and flex. A proposal that the universe was created from empty space seems no more fundamental than a proposal that the universe was spawned by a piece of rubber. It might be true, but one would still want to ask where the piece of rubber came from." So all that's happening here is secular cosmologists are just substituting one problem for another. To explain the universe, cosmologists are invoking a pre-existing quantum field. But they offer no explanation for the quantum field itself, or where it came from, or why it would even obey laws of physics from a universe that didn't even exist yet. So they say the universe came from nothing, but when they say nothing, they actually mean something, without explaining where this nothing that is really something came from. Some cosmologists try to cover this problem up. For example, Lawrence Krauss in his book Universe from Nothing tries to justify the nothing that is really something by claiming that a quantum theory of gravity is responsible for the universe creating itself. Notice that Stephen Hawking did the same thing earlier, when he also said that quantum gravity allows the universe to create itself. But there's a serious problem here, which they aren't telling you about. Physicists don't actually have any good theories of quantum gravity. A valid theory of quantum gravity does not exist. And these scientists are fully aware of this fact. As Krauss himself admitted in an interview, "I also don't have a quantum theory of gravity, so I can't tell you for certain how space comes into existence." So even though some cosmologists claim that the laws and theories of physics would allow our universe to create itself, this claim is false, as they themselves admit.